Well, howdy doody to ya. I mean, that's if anybody's listening to this, because the World Wide Web and the internet is getting pretty quiet. There's not so many people on there. I wonder why. But it's a safe place now, isn't it? We're all protected from all the nasties of life. But really, is that a good thing? And I'm not the only one moaning on the internet. There are people who are moaning too. And they say things like, well, us creators. But to me, there's hardly any creators on YouTube or on the media anymore. You see, creators to me is somebody who creates something out of nothing and spends a long time doing it. Puts a lot of effort into it. But you don't see much of that anymore. Most of these people who say they're creators, all they have is a backdrop, a desk, and a microphone, and of course, a camera filming them. And all they do is talk. To me, that's not creating. If it is, it's the laziest creating I've ever seen. And you know the biggest problem I think we have in societies now is that people are so damn weak. I read about a guy who watched a film that was, I guess, a bit violent, and he said he had a panic attack. Well, of course, first of all, he's no real man, because this film he watched was made up. It wasn't real, but he still had a panic attack. Probably ran for a safe space somewhere. You see, in the wild, we see a big, strong animal, and we respect that. Because all the timid, weak animals have probably been eaten already, or died in some horrible way. Because the weak don't do too well in nature. But of course, we're in the protection zone now from the Big Brother is protecting us from all the nasties of life. And that's why the media and the internet and YouTube is almost dead and boring. And I believe the younger people than me are living in a fantasy land where they think people don't die, people don't get cut and bleed to death. People aren't dismembered or disabled in wars and accidents, because we're all protected from that now, aren't we? It doesn't happen, apparently. It's too awful to look at. And all it does is produce an unrealistic human being. No matter how old they are, they're still basically a child. And I don't believe that anything good can come out of a weak society. In nature, only the strong survive. Femons through history have been protected from the nasties of life, usually by man, and that's why they have an unrealistic view of the world. The real world is not a really nice place. I mean, it has its moments, but it can be really awful and nasty too. And human beings should be prepared for both sides of the coin. There should be some kind of organization that deprograms these weak human beings. You know, like they'd go away for a week to be deprogrammed and become real, productive, mature human beings. Then instead of being a drain on society, they would be a productive human being. Self-efficient. My niece has grown-up children, and they all seem to be going to college learning about, well, to me, garbage subjects. And when they get together, I see them all there, and I can't tell which one's the men and which one's the girls, 'cause they kind of all just blend into one. Every now and then I meet a guy, a really young guy, that actually is a really young guy. And it's refreshing to talk to him, to see what a real man is like when they're young. But he's probably considered a freak to his friends, who are very woke and very weak. I mean, if I was an alien, this would be a good time to come and take over the planet Earth, because there would be barely no resistance at all. There is still real men on the planet at the moment, but we're getting old. And when we're gone, there will only be children left. And I know that sounds a bit bleak, but this isn't fantasy. This is real. Now, I know you may have to go lay down for a while now, or maybe go to a safe place. And I'm just gonna go make coffee. Sorry if I scared you.